Hi guys, I'm here to do a video on how I became an au pair since a few of you were asking me how to do this and how I got in this position to go overseas. So I've typed into trusty Google to define au pair so I can properly tell you guys what an au pair is. It says, au pair, a young foreign person, typically a woman, who helps with housework or childcare in exchange for food, a room and some pocket money. So the origin of au pair is French, obviously, and it means on equal terms. So that's pretty cool. So how did I actually become an au pair? It's really simple. I went onto a website called www.aupairworld.net and you basically create your profile. And if you're a family looking for an au pair, you can create your own profile too. Au pairs looking for work go onto this site and basically scroll through profiles and profiles of families, and it emails you to every week of new families that have applied to the site, and you basically just apply like a normal job. You just apply to the families and hopefully they either accept you or they reject you. So if you get accepted, you can continue to talk to them, and then eventually, if they like you enough through your conversation that you've been having, you can set up a Skype interview, because obviously you're in different countries, so you're not going to go see them face to face. Just like a job interview, and they just ask you stuff that you've said on your profile. So for me, I said on my profile that I went to Africa when I was 16, and a lot of them were interested in that, being like, why, how did you go to Africa, what were you doing there? And they really want to know about that. And I think the point of these interviews, for the family at least, is just to make sure you're not a psychopath. They really seem to be open, I find, a lot of the families that I was talking to, about welcoming au pairs into their home and helping them. They can show you the room that they're offering to you. And I found in the Skype interviews it was a good place to ask a lot of questions that I might have. Not every Skype interview that I did, but one of them, they introduced me to the kids, which was pretty cool, and they were really cute. The hard part about getting a lot of positive responses is that you then have to choose which family you want to accept and live with for a long period of time. That was the hardest part for me, because I was debating between two different families and they both offered really different opportunities and really different things. The family I ended up accepting as my au pair family was a lot to do with their religious beliefs. They had the same beliefs as me, so I thought that was a good way to start off, because we have something in common. Second decision that sold me was that this family, that they live in London but they're actually of Austrian heritage, so they're from Austria, and they said that they go on holiday to Austria and they would bring me with them for free. I'll nip over to Austria and have a little holiday with you guys free of charge, no problem. I think this applies for almost every country. You need a visa. The visa, I was freaking out about. I'm like, no, I'm not going to get a visa, I've already got the job and I'm not going to be allowed to work there. But honestly, I freaked out about nothing. The application form is pretty straightforward, and you have to book an appointment to meet up, and then at the appointment they just go over your files, they enter stuff in a computer, boring stuff. And you have a biometric assessment, so you have your fingerprints taken, and then you wait usually about 4 weeks and your visa will come through if there is no problems. If you're not a terrorist, you will get a visa. Me, I got the family, then went for the visa, because if I didn't get an au pair family, I wasn't gonna stay. So I secured my family, and then I was like, you know what, I'm going to get the visa. Obviously I had to get a visa. Moving on to tips on how to sell yourself as an au pair. Number one, I would say be genuine. This is probably very obvious, but don't talk about how much you love kids. It's like they're your whole world if they're not. I like kids, but I'm not, you know, like obsessed with them, and I don't want to work with them in the future. I don't want to be a childcare worker or anything like that. I said in my profile that I really like filmmaking. My second piece of advice would be to have some experience. You are most likely going to be hired if you've had child care or childminding experience. I don't have personally like a first aid certificate or like a police check done. Some of them want that, but I've had quite a lot of experience in the past, basically my whole life, looking after kids. The only experience you need to have is literally babysitting. My third piece of advice would be to be specific in what you are looking for. I said I want to live in London, nowhere else. I started getting really promising offers from people who were living in Belfast and in Oxford and other places in Ireland and like outside of London, and they looked really good. I was talking to the families that were offering those positions to me quite a lot, being like, oh, should I just not go to London? Should I just go live somewhere else? And then I remember, no, I really want to be in London. And I'm so glad that I did not like pursue those families that live not like outside of London. After all, you are working for them, but you as an au pair, this is your experience as well, to live overseas. So I would really recommend be specific. Know where you want to live, or have a general idea of where you would like to experience living, what kind of family you would like. You can specify on the website the age range of the kids you would like to look after. So if you don't like younger kids, you can definitely look after just older kids. If you like a lot of kids, you can look after a lot of kids. If you don't, vice versa. You can do a lot of things, and the website's really good because you specify everything you can do. So it's like, if you're willing to do housework, you can put that down. If you are willing to drive or have a driver's license, put that down. Getting a job as an au pair can be a long process, but there are so many families looking for an au pair, and I'm sure if you want to be one, you will suit a family. I almost guarantee it. If you're not crazy, you're basically in. That's the video, guys. I really hope that some of this explanation on being an au pair has helped some of you guys, maybe who are considering it, and I will see you in my next video, guys. Bye!